As at the time of filing in this news report on Saturday night, leaders in the European countries have kept mum ever since. On Friday, the United States, US President Donald Trump announced plans to impose 50% tariff on goods not made in the North America country that comes from European countries, with a specific threat to impose 25% tariff on Apple if the iPhone manufacturer does not move production to the United States. President Donald Trump based his actions on what he claimed to be cases of unfair and unjustified lawsuits filed by the European countries against American companies, among other reasons, but it could be recalled that earlier in the month of April 2025, when President Trump issued the first tariff threat of 25% on European goods, the immediate past Germany Chancellor Olaf Scholz had said that even if European countries did nothing in response to Donald Trump-imposed tariffs, the increased tariffs will cause big problems in the US economy, adding that Trump intending tariff increment on EU goods is an economic error. And the European Commission President, Ursula Von Der Leyen, had also in early April 2025 said that the EU countries is the largest single market in the world and the EU have what it takes to retaliate or strike back. President Donald Trump on Friday threatened tech giant Apple with a 25% tariff if the iPhone manufacturer doesn't move production to the United States. He later said trade talks with the European Union were progressing so poorly that a 50% tariff should be imposed next week, June 1, 2025. President Trump proposed that Apple build its iPhones in the US or face a 25% tariff. Tech analysts say that would balloon prices to $3,500 per phone, according to CNN senior data analyst Harry Enton, who analyzed the possible impacts the US president action may cause the North American residents. President Donald Trump has said he is recommending imposing 50% tariffs on goods from the European Union being imported to the United States. Our discussions with them are going nowhere, he said in a post on social media on Friday. The announcement marks an escalation of Trump's trade war with the EU, which has already been hit with a blanket 20% tariff on all US exports, according to US media. Their powerful trade barriers, VAT taxes, ridiculous corporate penalties, non-monetary trade barriers, monetary manipulations, unfair and unjustified lawsuits against Americans' companies, and more, have led to a trade deficit with the US of more than $250 million a year, a number which is totally unacceptable, he wrote in a Truth Social post on Friday morning. Our discussions with them are going nowhere, Trump wrote. Therefore, I am recommending a straight 50% tariff on the European Union, starting on June 1, 2025. The tariff Trump is considering slapping on the EU is more than double the size of the 20% initial, reciprocal, tariff that was briefly in place in April before he swiftly paused those tariffs to allow for further negotiations, CNN stated. The pause is set to expire on July 9. Since the pause, the only trade deal that's been announced is with the United Kingdom. Meanwhile, US Senator Maria Cantwell issued statement on Trump's 50% EU tariff threat and said thus: Americans already face a summer of high prices. It is not the time to be threatening new tariffs that drive prices even higher. The European Union is a $19 trillion market with 448 million potential customers for US exports. And it has been an important US ally. Now the EU is getting ready for a new trade war when we should be focused on working together to confront Russia and other global challenges, the US Senator, Maria Cantwell, ranking member of the Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation and senior member of the Senate Finance Committee, released this statement in regarding President Trump's threat to impose a 50% tariffs on imports from the European Union. Earlier in April 2025, the European Commission President, Ursula Von Der Leyen, had said at a gathering that many Europeans feel disheartened by the new US tariffs. Europe didn't start this, but we have what we need. The biggest single market, the leverage to negotiate, the means to strike back. We'll defend our interests. The US has announced 25% tariffs on steel, aluminum, cars, and parts. They plan to extend duties to semiconductors, pharmaceuticals, and timber. On April 2, 2025, we expect further tariffs on almost all goods, affecting many countries worldwide. In response to US tariffs, we'll act on 3 fronts. We're open to talks, but ready to hit back. We'll expand trade with other partners, and we'll strengthen the EU single market, remove barriers, grow our scale, boost competitiveness. We don't want a trade war. The US-EU trade flow is nearly balanced. But let's be clear, we didn't start this. If needed, we have a strong retaliation plan, and we will use it, Ursula had stated in early April 2025. We had reported that the escalating trade war between the 2 biggest economies in the world, China and the United States, US may take a new twist as the China leader, Xi Jinping on Friday for the first time issued a public statement in reaction to President Donald Trump's continuous issuance of apparently outrageous self-imposed tariffs on goods exported by other countries to the US, with the president stating clearly to Trump that China is not afraid of US. This is in addition to Jinping's earlier statement he issued on November 5, 2018 during the first tenure of President Donald Trump that the Chinese economy is an ocean and not a pond, that China economy can withstand strong winds and storms.
And because of this collective experience of the last, almost 75 years, so many Europeans feel utterly disheartened by the announcement from the United States. Let me be clear, Europe did not start this confrontation. We think it is wrong. But my message to you today is that we have everything we need to protect our people and our prosperity. We have the largest single market in the world. We have the strength to negotiate. We have the power to push back. And the people of Europe should know that together we will always promote and defend our interests and our values, and together we will always stand up for our Europe.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.